came up here, greetings, respect, much love, to explain A to Z, the horoscope maker and delineator. Switch it around for you so you can see it. Making a mess over here. Doc's gonna give me. Alright. Alright. Reverse this. Bam. Boom. Alright, so you got A to Z, horoscope maker and delineator. We went into this book prior, and I was giving you some synapses about Aries and how to locate yourself in a location. I didn't go too far because I wanted at least to give you synapses that's within the book. This book is older than me, a year older than me, as far as the physical. So, see, this is how you really connect to the knowing of where the time 0 to 10, 11 to 20, and 21 to 30, as far as the degrees. So as the planets, from Mars, Venus, Mercury, Moon, Sun, back again to now Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. But these are all connected through your signs of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. How all of these are in tune with, let's say, when you go from 0 to 10 degrees, as Pisces is going into Neptune, or she. And then from 11 to 20, the Moon. And then from 21 to 30 degrees is Mars. That's how you start to learn, your locations. Each planet that happens to get around you happens to give you a certain amount of energy, as well as how you're thinking of the day. So you could be thinking of the day, but then there's also a program that's playing for you already that's in that. So then you're like, wow, how did I start thinking of this? That's what caused that to happen. So not all the time you have a plan, Sometimes the plan actually just unfolds itself. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I didn't even know that was in the plan. However, it's to a point where you're going to end up knowing that it was part of the plan in the first place, so that you can really grasp what's going on in your livelihood, how much things are in front of us that helps us, or it could be blinding us till we finally see the truth of it. All right, so Taurus is called earthly, fixed, cold, moist, semi-fruitful, bestial, feminine, melancholy, of short ascension. It is the second sign of the zodiac, the sun beginning its apparent yearly transit through it on or about April 20th to the middle or fixed sign of the spring equator, and is symbolized by a bull with unusual horns on the head and toes. It says and toes. What the? Okay, yeah, that's what the bulls usually have, horns on, looking like on their feet. Appearing in a rage, crouching to rush forward with fierce energy, representing a stubborn and tenacious nature. Taurus is one of the 4 fixed signs comprising the cherubim. It was the original bull or Baal, or when you hear Baal, Baal, of the Assyrian religious rites, sometimes referred to the sacred bull. Now you got sacred, just like you have scared as that word, sacred, right? So sacred, sacral. There's the second chakra. First is the root, and then there's the sacral. Now, if you think about Aries, Aries has to have a root knowing of itself. So just like from a root of learning you to a sacral learning you, here's your sacred bull or golden calf. Now I know you know about this word golden calf, so it's in the Bible. All right. Embellic, emblemic of the period a few thousand years ago when the solar system was processing through the constellation. Our May Day festival with its maypole and garlands. Now you think of pole, Polaris, maypole and garland, and you know that's around the neck of the calf. So when you think about that as well, flowers, things of that nature. But this is also just like to say cornucopia without knowing what that means. But it's like a festival type thing. This being like a wreath with flowers on it. Are the remains of the ancient Egyptian festival celebrating the entrance of the sun into Taurus. The gospel apparently alludes to Haggai as a prophet and Thaddeus as apostle of this sign. And this angle or angel, angle or angel is Asmodeus. Ephraim said to mean heifer. Ephraim. You hear the ram in there? Okay, so mean heifer. Now you know heifer meaning virgin. So when they use this word heifer, some of us made it a bad term before it even had a term. So this is why we know name, as in the beginning was the word WHIRRED, before it became word WORD, or even world, WORLD. All right. So in the Hebraic mythology refers to the sign Taurus. Ephraim was Joseph's second son. Joseph seemed to be connected with this sign. In Genesis 49:22, now that's 11, right? 49 is 13. 49 is 13, and these 22 are master numbers. So, like 13 is a resurrection number. The 22 is a manifestation number. 49, 4 symbolically can be known as Cancer, 9 Sagittarius, 2 Taurus, and another Taurus. So 2 Tauruses put together. You can still think of that also in the idea of what Scorpio represents on the opposite end of it. And then, of course, the 4 and the 9 is 13. So that's a 3, a 1 and a 3. So that's Aries, and that's also Gemini energy. So we can see how resurrection really do play a part of reconstructing someone's self. All right, so we read Joseph is a fruitful bough or vine by a well. Now you think of well is also connected to the bull. All right. Other translations read a son of a cow. See how to use cow? A bull. So now think about Abel, cow, right? Cow with words. So just being mindful of how these words, a son of a cow. The son of a cow is basically a bull, right? So like they say, you son of of a dog, right? So the same way they still play a downplay of your higher deity of energies that's around you. Well is an eye, a bull's eye. A fruitful bough may be represented by the garland. See, instead of having flowers, they got now fruit. Garland, usually pictured around the bull's neck. There is an analogy between the bull, Apis, Reen, rooks, the unicorn. See how that worked? Now the bull could be a unicorn. You wouldn't know the difference. You put a unicorn on your little children, your daughter, and usually the daughter end up having it the most, but this is a representation of a bull, and we wouldn't know it. So the unicorn is like saying Capricorn without calling it Capricorn. It's still another earth sign. You got Virgo, which is the Mary, and you got Capricorn, which is, you know, the actual other earth sign, and then you have the bull, Taurus, which is that other bull sign. The other earth sign. Pictured as enraged and irresistible. And the biblical descriptions of wrath of the Lord is, in the day of his fierce anger, everyone shall be thrust through. Isaiah 13 through 15. And the first deacon of the Taurus constellation is Orion, to the south of the ecliptic but very beautiful, mentioned by Job, Amos, and Homer. It is the figure of a mighty hunter with a huge club in one hand and the skin of a slain lion in the other. This foot is raised as if in the act of crushing an enemy. Directly under it is the torture river, Eridanus, coursing downward into regions of darkness in the underworld, south of the celestial equator. So as above, so below, you think about Mississippi River and, the Euphrates. All right. Orion wears a starry girdle or belt, to which is fastened a sword, the hilt of which is the head of a lamb. In the constellation is Betelgeuse, meaning the branch coming. Rigel, another brilliant star therein, means at the foot that crusheth. Okay, and you also get, this is the same story with Gilgamesh, where he steps on, was it Gilgamesh? Yeah, Gilgamesh stepping on Enkidu. Bellatrix is another signifying coming suddenly or suddenly destroying. The Arabs call Al-Gaiza the branch, Al-Mizraim the ruler, Al-Najid the prince, thus associating the idea of vengeance. Now you think of vengeance, that's where Batman comes in. With the horn of the fierce reem or Aurochs. The second deacon shows the constellation Eridanus, and then you hear Anus, sun, Sana, Direde, Ride a sun. The river of the judge, analogous to a fiery stream flowing into the underworld. And that's this word right here. This is A-R or R-A. You got Ra in there, and U, and I-G-A, or A-G-I, A-G-I-R. Egg, air, you. Arguer. There's a lot coming out of that word, but AU is gold. Are you Riga? I don't know. That's a constellation. It's the third constellation associated with the sign. It is above the others and typically gracious of evangelic in Noetic. Ayuriga means shepherd. Okay, so now we got the lamb, the ram, and the shepherd. The lamb is the ram, and here's the shepherd. Ayuga, hey, I said it. I should have just left it alone. Ariga means shepherd. A good shepherd. Are we good shepherds? We're good people. Good people like a good shepherd. He holds a mother goat in his arms with little kids in his hand. Capella. See this word, capella. It sounds like how it connects to the cornucopia type. And the Ella, the cape. All right, is the bright star, their she-goat. With the star in the right arm is Mink Alinen, meaning a band of goats or iwis. This picture in the heavens bears relation to Psalm 37 to 40, also to Isaiah 40, 10 to 11. In the chart, in the zodiac of Dendera, you got to really look at what Dendera is so you can get the idea, but this is where the zodiacus comes from, that we call zodiac as the signs or symbols that you've basically been using for the longest or haven't. This is how you can depict more about the profound way of learning yourself. All right. So in the zodiac of Dendera, or Ayuriga holds a scepter on the upper part of which is a lamb, on the lower a cross. In Taurus are Pleiades, a cluster of 7 stars. And when you think about this Taurus with 7 stars, you can also think about Snow White. All right. A cluster of 7 stars whose sweet influences. So now you know why Snow White was with 7 dwarfs. All right. Are referred to with the band of Orion. In mythology, they were the 7 daughters of Atlas, the upholder of heaven and earth. Now we get into like basically the wheels of heaven. Noted for their mutual sympathy and affection. Also at the 7 virgins, here we go, and 7 lamps. So now you really got 7 and 7, which is 14 being 5, and how the Leo, the energy, will be like the 5th house. While we're talking about the 2nd house, we didn't even get to the 5th house yet, but we're still giving you the effects of it. You got to be a virgin energy of your thoughts and how you connect to it, and the 7 lamps, which is your way of knowledge, how you obtain towards it. All right. So now, Taurus is ruled by Venus. It is the exaltation of Moon, which Moon could be Amun, Mina. All that comes from Moon, Mona, Madonna, particularly in the 3rd degree, and the detriment of Mars, who is not at ease in the home of Venus. Taurus suggests energy, reserve force, endurance, and stability, and energy devoted to stable things, ensure firm foundation, and an enduring structure. So this is a little different from Capricorn. Capricorn usually still deals with structure, but this is talking about firm structure. All right, so this is like how the neck usually starts. Peace, LJ. What's going on, sis? All right, this sign is said to include under its domain the neck, throat, ears, the pharynx, the Eustachian. I have to look that one up. Eustachian tube, the ova. No, I'm about to say it wrong. Uvula, the tonsils, the upper portion of the esophagus, the palate, the thyroid gland, parotids, and vocal cords. The zone of influence commences behind at the termination of the occipital portion of the cranium, and in front under the lower maxillary, and includes the cerebellum and base of the brain. So this is all parts of what the Taurus is a connection to. So don't get it twisted. The body is definitely connected by all the zodiacs. I gave you the day 2 days prior about Aries. If you don't, just go on back and look back at my Facebook, and I just put it on YouTube, so that way we can start doing some things with these things, because I know when we talk about it, it'll make sense to you. However, you might have to go back to where the other parts make sense so that you can see why this part makes sense to you also, because you have to start off with a square. A square is Aries. Then you go into Taurus, and Taurus end up being the triangle. So that's why this brain, the base of the brain, this is important, because this is like how the tripod, if you ever did a tripod on your feet, on your hands and your head, your neck is what's important to hold that. So it's like the base to the brain. You know what I mean? So, okay, so the principal bones ruled by Taurus are the cervical vertebrae. Muscles are the sternoid, mastoid. And that's talking about right in the center of your body. your trapezius, your sternomastoids, your esophagus again, your stylopharyngeus, your splenius and complexus, your longus, scalenius, the biventrius, cervicus, your spinal cervicus, your arteries, your external carotid, and your basilar artery, your veins, your occipitals, your jugulars, and the veins of the thyroid gland. Your morbid action manifests as sore throat, glandular swelling in the neck, quinsy, kraut, mumps, goitre, weans, polypus, abscess, bronchial, suffocation. Wow. Okay, strangulation, angina. I don't know what that one is. You have to go into that and find that out yourself. Gangrena, scrofula, apoplexy, by reflection action from Leo and Scorpio. That's why Leo was brought in, because it's connected to the heart. The heart may be affected. Also, the excretory system. Man, I can't even get these words out for some reason. Giving rise to piles, fistulas, or bladder trouble. And if you also know your torso. So all of this is like just a summary of how you feel suffocated, how your breathing techniques, is it working for you? You know what I mean? Like, it's all dealing with your vocals and how your vocal cords are, and the mastoid, your arteries, your veins. So this your red and your blue. So your red bull, your blue bull, That's why they gave you these kind of concepts and everything around you, so you could be like kind of familiar but not familiar. And those names, those big names I named, those are actually body parts. So you have to actually look those up. You can screenshot that and look it up yourself. So don't be, oh, Eternal said it wrong. So what? It's your turn now. Now I did my part. I put it out there for you. So now your next step is to get it right from the left, because it wasn't wrong in the first place. It was left, and this was what it is. It's left out for us. Now that we can see it, we can now do something with it. Usually, fattened foods should be used in moderation, as this sign increases the appetite, tends to obesity, and to fondness of ease. Moderate and regular exercise is essential, as well as moderation in food and drink. Now, I'm seeing this happening right now, so I'm a witness of this stuff. I'm like, shoot, I gotta eat right. I'm gonna stay right, because I don't want to be the sickness, man. I'm not with sickness. All right, because of failure to observe these essentials, rheumatism is prevalent amongst Taurians. Herbs belonging to this sign are ground ivy, dead nightshade, vervain. The principal characteristics of desirable nature for cultivation are expressed as trustworthy, steady, persevering, enduring, persistent, composed of self-reliant, constructive, practical, humorous, kindly, sympathetic, magnetic, careful, fearless. The principal characteristics for correct are denoted by these words: stubborn, unyielding, domineering, exacting, obstructive, stolid, brusque, dogmatic, conceited, self-centered, covetous. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out too. Amorous, lazy. It is said that their accusers are seldom forgiven, and that they retain the memory of an injury for a long time, yet are very patient and forbearing. The second sign is akin to the second house, with its relation to money, finance, and movable effects of extrinsic value. Extrinsic value. Man, these words, big words, big words. All right, let's just finish this off and we're going to be done. All right, some of the popular expressions associated with this sign are too bullheaded, mad as a bull in a china shop, bully, stubborn as a bull. The cow jumped over the moon, referring to moon's exaltation in Taurus. Take the bull by the horns, on the horns of a dilemma, a rubberneck, too stiff-necked, a necker, Beauty and the Beast, deep as a well. Remember I said that? What about the well? Round as a bullseye. So that's why when you look at Target, all these things are the representation of the bull. And you start to realize that that's why we start to go into it a lot, like Babe, B-A-B-E, being a deer, but not a bull, but still can use that version as Babel, Babel, Biblio. So Bible is a bi-bull. It's a bisexual bull. You hear that? Names associated with Taurus: Bow, Bull, Asmodeus, which is the angle of the angel, Astarte, Haggai, which is a prophet, Thaddeus, which is apostle, Atur, which is Arabian name for Taurus, Apis, which is Menevis, and Aleph, and Reem, an animal resembling the bull but fiercer, Aurochs, similar to Reem, Unicorn, same as Reem, Hunter. Now I didn't mention that, but remember in Snow White that he was the hunter. The hunter was in there, so that was the representation of, again, a bull. Capella is a star. Mink Alinan is a star. Aldebaran, a star. Atlas, Pleiades. You know, you heard of these names, so they're familiar with you already. Particularly the seven cis stars, might as well just say that, named Maya, M-A-I-A, Electra. I know you heard of that as even for a comic book. Tegeta, Alion, Cilione, Cileono, Stereo, and Muriel. All right, places represented by this signs are banks. See how that works? Places represented by this sign are banks, cash boxes, money drawers, jewel cases, stables for cows, diaries, places where harness and farming. Remember, the word harness came out of Wonder Woman. She had that harness put around the lasso around the men. So she had that Taurus energy. And farming implements are kept. Harness shops, pastures, feeding places, shady places as under trees, some little distances from the house, wheat or cornfields. In the house, it represents middle rooms or places in the middle of the block. It also represents round things such as casters, rings, watches, earrings, nose rings, money, insulators, cartwheels, bonnets. Didn't know about that one. Bonnets or bonnet. Hats, shoes, leather pocketbooks. And there's also the rugs, purses or traveling bags, necklaces, garlands, maypoles, canes, altars, and that's Al Taud. When you think about canes, you hear Moses, and Moses had the rod, so this is another connection to the Taurus energy. All right, well, I said enough for today. Just go on it again and see how we get with Gemini when Gemini come around. I'm not going to go into it detail till we get close to their zodiac signs. And if I happen to go a month behind, I'll let that skip so I can go on to the other two signs, and that way I won't skip anything. But you got enough information to really start your own research. And this book again, this is the beginning of it. So Llewellyn George broke it down as far as this right here. Now you infinitely got to screenshot that right there. That's giving you the whole synopsis of a beginning state from left to right versus right to left. We were taught right to left, and what we should be seeing is from left to right. And the underworld, as is shown here, from where 1 is, Aries, going to 6, and then once it hits 7, that's when you actually are coming into your heaven, your head. And this is a better way of really gravitating towards your natal chart. What most people say that they are 9 months, so you got 1 going all the way to 9 months of birth, which would be here as your new starting point, to where 10 starts here as a mystery house, 11 mystery house, and 12 is a mystery house. So these 3 houses are known as this 1, this 2, and this 3. These 3 houses is known as the mystery house to you. And because that's missing to you, the actual clock that you look at to tell the time that you came into existence has you stuck in time. Has had you stuck in time, as in the past to now you're present. So now you can actually come out of that. Your 9 months birth or your 12 months birth. And when you think of that, there's the other 3 missing to your trine. Not saying that this is what it's going to look like on your chart. It's only until you look at where did you start it at? Where'd you start out at? See, I started out as Pisces. So if I go over here and I start here, and then we go like you would go regularly around the clock. So now this actually would be a certain time frame, right? So this would be on this side 9 o'clock, while that side would be 3 o'clock. So this side 9 o'clock, this would be 10 o'clock. Yet at the same time, my descendant energy is Capricorn. So how about that? I end up still in this zone, even though my energy's on this oppositional side, which would be what? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Virgo. And so how does Virgo end up having the energy as Pisces having the energy on the way that, whereas if it was the actual clock going from 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, between 4 and 5. So I'm learning my Cancer, and I'm learning when 5 hits, I'm learning my Leo energy. So I'm learning my Heru energy. So that's why all of this is really important to learn. Did you come on this side of the earth? You came on this side of the earth? You came on this side? What side did you come on? So you a water sign? Well, if you're water, earth is really up here. And we think fire is up here first. But fire, technically, when we were writing it as a number, it would be 1 right here on this side of the earth. You know what I mean? So now let's look at it, though. If I went over here and went over, this would be fire still. This is Sagittarius. And now we're going into Capricorn when we hit here. Even though this represents a 90 degree from how I see things. 90 degree. So from here to there is my 90 degree. We wouldn't see it until we hit here. That's why it's like 12 o'clock. Above your head, sunlight hits you, bam. But now you're casting a shadow. That side. which is, that's why this side could be your Pisces energy. You wouldn't know it. So that's why it's important to learn your front side, your back side, your north side, your south side. Is it your head being north? Look at how they got this. They said S is here. North is down here. And east is on this side while west is on that side. So this is how we got taught things backwards. All right? So I said enough. I'll see y'all soon. We'll talk. Peace. Wow. Yeah. I gotta think of something else to say. I wanted to say Wadu. I say, oh, give thanks, respect.